our systems run many airlines. For example, 70% of all the freight in and out of Australia is handled on our system. We run the most mission critical systems for the industry. If our system doesn't work, for example, Heathrow Airport, we do the AODB for them. It's not just Heathrow, but the entire European skies will be chopped. So basically, Microsoft വളരെ ക്ലോസ് ആയിട്ട് ഉപയോഗിക്കുന്ന ഒരു സൈബർ സെക്യൂരിറ്റി ആൻഡ് ഇൻഫർമേഷൻ സെക്യൂരിറ്റി നെറ്റ്വർക്ക് സെക്യൂരിറ്റി സോഫ്റ്റ്വെയർ പ്രൊവൈഡ് ചെയ്യുന്ന ക്രൗഡ് സ്ട്രൈക്ക് ആണത്. അത് unfortunately, one of the patches that they have done was identified by നമ്മൾ autoimmune disease എന്ന് പറയില്ലേ. You know what autoimmune is. Our own immune system is identifying ourselves as a problem and then try to fight with each other. So the CrowdStrike software, this particular patch was recognized as a threat. And a very serious threat to the extent, അങ്ങനത്തെ ഒരു ത്രെട്ട് വന്നു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ what the security software does is it will shut down the machine instantaneously. It will not even allow the machine to then come up. So that's what it does. So our blue screen death എന്നും പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു എന്താണ് sea of death എന്നും പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു ടേമാണ് അവർ ഉപയോഗിക്കുക. ഇതിൻ്റെ ഒരു പ്രോബ്ലം എന്താണെന്ന് വെച്ചിട്ടുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ഈ patch was uploaded worldwide. So anybody who is using Microsoft system software and Microsoft basically ഒരു കോറായിട്ട് ഉപയോഗിക്കുന്നവർക്ക് all of them were affected. അപ്പോൾ ഇവിടെ നമുക്ക് പല എയർലൈൻസും മൈക്രോസോഫ്റ്റിൻ്റെ കോഡ് ഉപയോഗിക്കുന്ന നാവിറ്റെയർ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു കമ്പനിയുടെ സോഫ്റ്റ്വെയറാണ് പല Indigo ഉപയോഗിക്കുക. So they were all affected. Anybody who is using that. Now the difficulty is, ഇത് നമ്മൾ ബൂട്ട് ചെയ്യാൻ സമയത്ത് this will not come up. Immediately it will sense and it will shut down again. So it will not come up. So ഇത് overcome ചെയ്യണമെങ്കിൽ we have to go through a safety mode and then change. This patch has to be reversed. So which means that every device has to be physically intervened. അതല്ലെങ്കിൽ നമുക്ക് we have thousands of employees worldwide. We can actually update a patch online instantaneously across, provided those machines are up. These machines are not up. So that was pretty bad. A lot of questions are asked. How do you avoid that kind of an occurrence in future? It's a big question. And we have some answers also for that. So fortunately, we were not affected because we don't use, for your information, we don't use for our main mission critical operations any of proprietary software. We don't use Oracle. We used to use Oracle and we don't use Microsoft. Basically application software. പല തരത്തിലുള്ള ഉണ്ടല്ലോ. So we use basically open source. So for me, actually, I keep telling my friends as well that becomes a kind of my ethos. Live life as if there is no end to life. That does not mean, you understand? A lot of people, when they retire, they feel that children are settled, I am retired, there is nothing more to do, is not the track you should take. I think live as if, because if you think like that, you will gradually close down things. No? I'm not saying be responsible and bring all liabilities when you live life as if there's no end to life. Of course there's an end to life. So that's what, so IBS should survive me and beyond me, and everything is done like that. We have the best of board. We are a complete board run organization. We have a professional CEO. I brought a professional CEO to IBS even when I was quite young. and that is to professionalize and run it as a company with on the merit, and so it will survive. It will. So my children are learning to become responsible owners of the company. So that's will happen.
You have one daughter.
I have two daughters. Two daughters.
They are part of the company, or they?
Both of them are. Yeah. Yeah. Meaning they are not in active operation in that sense, but they will be. They are shadowing me naturally. So there is somebody will. See, running a company as its CEO, for a company like IBS, which has, if you just look at my board of directors itself, I say it needs commitment and keenness and also capability. You should be capable and you should be keen to do it. Should be not everybody needs, because it's quite a grinding job. No? It's 24/7. Yeah, so, but at the same time, even to become a contributing owner of the company is also a lot of learning. So, my view is that what is the company? It's an organization, it's an institution where a lot of people come together and they create value, is what the organization, so it should continue.
And you have products like aviation or cargo, so others will need to branch out. What is your, or you just the products only?
So,
what's your plan?
So this is a question that gets asked pretty often, and my answer is very simple. Transportation is such a big sector. It is 10% of the global GDP, or 10 trillion. And it's so big, we don't have to look at any other place. And the reason is, in a product, domain experience. Domain expertise. So if I'm building something for healthcare, if I'm doing something for, say, financial services, what is the argument that I have? Why are you in this field? So first of all, so we are, aviation, we are pretty deep. Hospitality, we are entering. We have some cruise business. So just to give you some view, we have over 50% of the entire world's air freight market. More than 50% of the air freight market, IBS is. And if I leave some of the big homegrown loyalty management systems, when it comes to customer relationship and loyalty management, we are around 25% of the world's market. That means the big loyalty programs in the world, LATAM loyalty, Qantas loyalty, Air Canada loyalty, Aeroplan, Life Miles, LATAM, all of this, the JAL loyalty, Skywards, all of them are run by us. So once it's fully transitioned, we will be about 24-25% of the world's loyalty market. And we are establishing our leadership in operations, flight operations, disruption handling, crew operations. See, one of the things that people don't know about us, and that adds to the comment that you made, we run the most mission-critical systems for the industry. If our system doesn't work, for example, Heathrow Airport, we do the AODB for them. It's not just Heathrow, but the entire European skies will be chopped. If our flight op system doesn't work properly, in 15 minutes, it will be a ground stop in New York or in Dallas, and you'll be reported to FAA.
Your systems from Heathrow?
Yes. And our systems run many airlines. For example, 70% of all the freight in and out of Australia is handled on our system. 70% of all the freight in and out of Australia. This is huge. No, this is major. Yeah. No, the criticality is very high. So the reliability of that system, the resilience of it is so critical.
Nobody fully understands a company sitting in Toronto in Kerala.
Yeah, honestly speaking, they don't need to understand also. It's a-
at least,
yeah, I think it can be an inspiration for the youngsters when it's all. Can you imagine? I was once in Vegas. 80%, 88% of the Las Vegas, yeah, the casino, gambling, hotels, leisure. It's basically leisure. 88% of the inventory is sold through our system. 88% of the, see, MGM there, a hotel is normally 7,000 rooms to 9,000 rooms. We haven't, നമ്മളിവിടെ 150 room, 300 റൂമൊക്കെ ആണല്ലോ ഒരു ഹോട്ടലിൽ വലുതായിട്ട് പറയുക. So if you just go and Google the big hotels in Vegas. ഒരിക്കൽ ഞാൻ just before COVID, I don't know whether, yeah, through COVID or just before COVID. So we had a customer conference there, so I was reaching a little bit late from Canada, I think. So it was a big auditorium, people sitting and very keenly listening to the speaker. There are two speakers. And I looked at these two are IBS boys and one boy and girl. They are actually preaching to the who is who of the hospitality industry, and they are all sitting and watching and listening to them. That's amazing. These are people who started here in Trivandrum. Yeah. But that's an inspiring story if you really look at it. Yeah. And that happens in, like for instance, some of our people whom we hired from our own colleges here are the leaders of the industry now.
You have offices there, these people be based out of
Yeah.
US.
So we have office in Miami, we have office in Atlanta, we have our own office in Montreal.
But
Yeah.
they are all like marketing.
No. Like Miami office is a full-blown office with people who develop software, people who implement software, and in Montreal it is our optimization competence center, COE. Because see, in certain areas like research, we won't be able to do all of that here. Canada has an advantage because any research that you do that the government gives subsidy to, then there is a little bit of history to it that you could probably call out. In our journey from start to here, we had to acquire a number of companies for acquiring the capability. For instance, you cannot build a aircraft engineering maintenance support system without knowing aircraft maintenance engineering completely and better than others. Not just the requirement, also how to translate that requirement to system spec. So the best way is to acquire a small aircraft maintenance engineering software company somewhere where it is existing. And that's how different things. I talked about Heathrow Airport. We acquired a company from Honeywell in 2003 that gave us the capability to I knew, I'm from the aviation industry, but that gave us 180 people in London in that one acquisition. Obviously, we rationalized it by moving most of the technology development work to India, use their domain competence to further build the product. That's the model that we use, basically.